fantastic Zerg player from CJ that we just never get to see. He's 1-1 this year. It's a pretty boring year for him. I've seen a lot of these players that just don't come out, especially on the CJ side. They like to recycle their players again and again because they do get the points. I mean, they're here for a reason, and that reason was Biel and Hero.
Yeah. I mean, RagnaroK's a guy that doesn't come out so much in Pro League, but he does, get through a lot of qualifiers, makes it to a lot of round of 32s, some round of 16s, so he's definitely got the potential. I know people like to throw that word around, but he has not reached it just yet.
Well, we see Maru has had that downward purple arrow, which is pretty rare and unique for him, but I feel like he has turned things around quite a little bit in recent times. It's funny, RagnaroK and Symbol, both former TSLs, are playing on opposite teams here back-to-back. Both the huge underdog going into this.
Look at that, 0-0 against Terran. He has 2 wins to 8 losses, RagnaroK, so he's got a lot to prove here. Maru certainly looking favored, looking to dominate this game.
Maru not the best record in Pro League versus Zerg, but that really doesn't speak to where he is. You need to look at his individual results to really get a full picture of exactly what he can do against Zerg.
Also, Maru 4-6 in his last 10 matches as well.
Well, guys, let's jump into game number 6 now between RagnaroK and Maru. Down here in the south, in the yellow, the Zerg player from CJ Entis, it is RagnaroK.
And his opponent to the top in green, one of the most famous Terrans in the world, it is Maru. Having a bit of a tougher time recently. A lot of people attributing that to wrist injury, but he's kind of bounced back, and probably a good thing that Mech is so popular in this matchup, because I feel like a lot of his multitasking definitely goes into this one and the TVP matchup where he's splitting and multitasking like crazy.
Yeah, he's certainly showing a lot more Mech these days. He was one of the last Terrans to really try and transition over to there. And, I mean, even recently we saw him play against Innovation in GSL, and he went down to the Mech again. He tried his bio style, so he hasn't made the full commitment yet, so there's always a possibility we'll see bio again today. Against a player like RagnaroK, maybe he's feeling so favored that it doesn't have to bring out the Mech. Maybe like, well, I can take this guy apart with just my normal bio.
That's what I think. I actually feel like, for me, I'm 55-45. I think he's going to go bio instead of Mech. I just feel like his drop harassment is so good. This map is good for bio drops. It's, it's such a good Mech map that RagnaroK is probably expecting Mech, so maybe he can kind of get him a little bit caught off guard. Maybe do like Hellion Banshee into a bio push, maybe even with Hellbat, something like that. I think would be a good choice.
There's also the potential, don't forget, for RagnaroK to do something crazy before we see really either of these styles go too far into. This map is a 2-player map, so you know where your opponent is, but it's very long, so it's hard to get over there. As I was mentioning before, DRG went for a Nidus in the backdoor base while pressuring the third before Bravo was really able to get too many tanks out. He wasn't mobile enough to defend his backdoor, and eventually DRG just got too far ahead. So we'll see what RagnaroK does have prepared. Like you said, he's not the guy who's going to be the smartest player in the world in terms of coming up with really innovative builds, but he can do something maybe that Maru's not going to expect.
That's true. Anything is possible here. We're going to see sort of an early macro build here from Maru going into CC first. Very easy to do on this map, just simply because it's at the backdoor expansion. You can wall off the front. Now taking gases very quickly. The first of which, that is to say. You see RagnaroK is getting his own gas. Moonglade, would you say on this map we're probably going to see like 2-base Lair into Spire?
I think that's the most normal sort of style, especially with this kind of map that you can defend so easily on 2 bases with that backdoor sort of natural. It would be smart, I think, for him, and he's got to try and figure out exactly what Maru is doing. Maru's become a lot more dangerous in this matchup because he can play Mech now. It's such a hard thing for Zergs to kind of come back from if they do not scout it early enough. So he's going to put his Overlord in a smart position behind both bases and look for that important scout probably in a few minutes' time. So look at that, already a fast second gas from Maru. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see Mech, to be honest, at this point.
starts to look that way. Definitely going to be getting a fast tech up regardless of what the follow-up to that is going to be. The factory already on the way.
Yeah, you know, Maru could go for something like Widowmine drops as well. We saw it out of Bunny, actually, in the first game up against Rogue. Didn't really work out for him, but maybe on a map such as this where you can get into that backdoor very easily, maybe you start off with something like that. Hellions can be interesting as well because there is that one ramp. It's a bit harder to get up into that main. But we'll have to wait and see exactly what he wants to do here with this double gas.
No the third base just yet for RagnaroK, playing it safe with just the one gas as well. We'll see if he adds additional gases here in just a moment with a lair. The Overlords are getting ready to come in here and scout. That one at the back, of course, especially is the most important scout he's going to get. Unfortunately, most of the tech usually going to be at the front ramp. He does have the second Overlord somewhat nearby.
Oh, look at this. Very quick armory behind all this.
See? This is the kind of Hellbat sort of push I think is a great choice if you're playing against somebody like RagnaroK and you're just such a great Terran in his pushes.
Look at this, going for a very quick third base and Overlord speed, something we rarely see from players this early on. It's going to do a lot of work. It's going to get the scout that he needs as well.
Yeah, this is essentially saying I need a scout against Maru. As you were saying, Lady, he's a very dangerous player. He can play a lot of styles. I need to know what he's doing 100%, so I am going to commit to this.
No stem on that tech lab. Grabbing a Marine, though, so I think we will see that come up here in just a moment.
He's going to go for a Viking first to deny any scouting, but the Overlord speed is going to finish.
I think he should be able to see this just before the Viking can deny him. It's going to be close, though.
Yeah, and one Viking I don't think is going to be enough, especially if the Marines are not positioned.
Actually going to make a siege tank, it looks like, for safety here. Perhaps for
Drilling Claws.
Oh, wow.
Guys, here we go.
Oh, Drilling Claws rush. This is interesting.
It will get scouted as well. He knows exactly what that is. Unless he thinks it's Blue Flame, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't know if he would. It's kind of a... I think there's only one real style you get this early on, and that's the Drilling Claws.
It's definitely something that he's, you know, not used to. You know, he's going to come in there and be like, whoa, that's interesting. Okay, I need to be safe about this one.
Oh, another Overlord going to be scouting out.
You should see the armory.
And
Looks
the
like
gases. Yeah, he
sees it.
Yeah, those gas scouts, super important as well. It really gives away, okay, it will be mech. There's no doubt about that. Oh, maybe not. 2 engineering base.
Oh, man, this is actually kind of all over the place here for Maru, but...
Wonky Doodle, it's just... He's investing in a lot of things and getting all these gases. I guess it means he's going to get all these upgrades very quickly.
Perhaps maybe the armory is intended to make him think he's going for an early, Hellbat push, when in fact he's just going to go for just early Widowmines with Drilling Claws. It's only one factory Widowmine, so there's not a ton of them, but obviously they can find a lot more when the harass, when they can drill into the ground faster.
And he's making a second factory as well. I think it's just going to be heavy Widowmine commitment with Bio as the follow-up, because the Widowmines are going to be great in any kind of push, but also on this map you can use them so effectively with Drilling Claws to get into that backdoor and even get into the third. It's just so easy with the Drilling Claws to make sure you guarantee some damage for yourself.
Yeah, and I mean, look at what we're seeing being made from RagnaroK. He's investing in roaches right now, so he's also being confused as much as we have. Everything's going down.
Let's see if these Drilling Claws get him an early, a bunch of drone kills. Not as good as it could have been, to be honest. Only 4. No target there.
Whoa. Talk about, maybe the worst luck you could have gotten there without the targeting. Maybe one drone going down.
He hit the Queen, and the rest of the 2 drones he got next to that were just from splash damage.
And look at this. That Overlord did scout exactly what he needed to. He's starting the Ling upgrades. They're a little bit behind what the bios are, but this is a very intelligent play from RagnaroK to get that Overlord speed, and it has saved him this game essentially from such a mind game from Maru.
And now he's got a ton of barracks powering up, but doesn't have a Bioforce to pressure with anymore. He's going to go for a second Widowmine drop. There's plenty of roaches here to help defend this kind of attack. He's also got spores at all of his bases. Really like RagnaroK's position in this early game.
Yeah, he's looking good. He's certainly looking very well-rounded and prepared for just about anything at this point. He's got to get to Mutas pretty quickly from here, and he's got to start investing in his gas in his main base, which it looks like he forgot about.
Well, a Widowmine drop is coming in once again. That's 3 Widowmines with Drilling Claws here, but there is detection, but there's no units, and here we go again. 3 Widowmines in and no response.
Oh, another bad hit. 7 drones go down.
3 Widowmines go off in a mineral line that isn't pulled. Like, 7 is a sick thing for the Zerg. Zerg players like rejoicing.
It really is. It should be like a little bit more.
Maybe like 12 or something is pretty
12
good.
would be decent. Like essentially, like the whole mineral line could be evaporated if they're just left untouched.
What do you think about this Roach speed?
I do like it. You know, Ling Roach Bane is certainly a way to deal with any sort of aggression early game and give you a lot of control and an easy fourth. The only problem with it is going later, it gets more redundant. The composition is so weak in the late game, especially when upgrades and Marauders are out. So he needs to get that Spire, or he needs to get those Infestors and go even later than that with Ultras.
Imagine those 0-0 Roaches going up against 2-2 Bio with even some tank backup that Maru is adding in here, which is interesting. I think that's a response to the Roaches. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'd say probably so. This is a massive drop, by the way, in these Banelings. There are 18 of them, but they don't have speed. It's going to take them a while. At the same time, another drop here at the third base. Again, abysmal damage.
Wow.
2 kills.
Not enough Lings there. It's going to cause a bit of a problem with this drop.
Slow
Everything
Banes.
moving back.
He needs to get Baneling speed.
He does.
He needs to get units in his back door to help deal with this. It looks like he's going for the desperate attack instead.
Oh my god, I don't know if that's going to work with slow Banes. With Lings, or Baneling speed not even started. He's got Marauders and Siege tanks back at home. Oh man, RagnaroK might be in some trouble here if he doesn't make this work.
Yeah, he's been red for days here. This is not going to do
Look
much.
at the barracks wall as well. The barracks wall says no. And oh, look at the supplies now. 70.
Oh boy.
Oh god, this Widowmine got more kills at the same time. 20 drones. 70 to 51 Harvesters right now, and he's chasing slow Banes.
Yeah, he needed that Baneling speed for any sort of attack like this. He's going to actually force it to be turned around and attack.
Easiest split in the world for Maru there. Slow Banes off creep with almost 2-2 Bio here. He's going to go very aggressive on this fourth base now.
He still has a lot of Widowmines with this as well. Oh my god, that hit is insane. That's the hit he was looking for. On Lings, at least, still going to be pretty good.
That's going to make the fight a lot easier.
Oh my god, look at this Drilling Claws right up in the front as well. Another good hit. Here's the splits. The tank siege is late, but he's just tanking with the tanks essentially.
Yeah, taking a lot of damage here, and another nice split. The entire army of Maru isn't quite here just yet, but it's still enough to deal with this, especially as 2-2 gets online.
2-2 changed that fight in a big way, and
It was
just enough medivacs.
Exactly what you said earlier, Valdez. You were like, imagine 2-2 Bio versus 0-0 Roaches. Well, we just saw at least, the one armor on those Roaches versus 2-2 Bio. And there you have it.
Oh.
Let's go into a game 7, ladies and gentlemen. The Manor Mules dropped here as well.
Complete beat down there. Unfortunate for RagnaroK. Going for a bit of a big all-in attack with 4-base Ling Roach Bane, but gets pulled around the map, gets Baneling speed, and gets read like a book. GG.
Indeed. Maru bringing us to game 7.
Oh boy. So this is going to be the first time we're going to see this season around. A game 7 ace match. And should be very exciting. Both teams have a lot of answers that they could pull out here. And there definitely will be some mind games into trying to counter each other's ace players.
I think CJ has to use Hero here. I don't see anyone else fitting the role. Biel, absolutely do not use him. The map is Echo. We saw Biel destroyed, dismantled by SOS earlier. He's in the wrong kind of mindset to be using in such an important match. I think it has to be Hero. The question is, does Jin Air want to fight him with Maru, or do they want to use Rogue, or perhaps even SOS for a PvP?
Man, that's such a hard choice.
I mean, Rogue played on Echo before, but Maru is fantastic against Protoss. Is he on the level that he was when he could dominate really any Protoss in the world? Maybe not quite there, but he's still fantastic against Protoss.
He could take down Hero. I think we should see Maru, to be honest.
I think the cool thing about Jin Air is there's so much diversity in their lineup that they've got 3 players, one of each race, that actually really suits this card, right? So they've got so many more options, which just makes this really scary for CJ. My vote is on SOS. I'd like to see him come out as the ace player, but I think all 3 players, all 3 of Maru, Maru, SOS, and Rogue, those 3 players, I think all of them are good choices. I personally like to see SOS.
SOS is interesting. He took out both Zest and Stats. He showed 2 of his unique strategies against Protoss there, but it definitely shows that he is another option. It's a guy that you can't really say, oh, no way. There's Maru and Rogue on the team. He's definitely a guy that can think about at least.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking at SOS or Maru. Rogue could be. I think he's got something planned, but I don't think so this time around.
All right, guys. Well, it's time for that reveal.
We got a lot of clapping, applause in the studio. It seems like the fans are very appreciative of the choices of the two teams.
Yeah, you know, if CJ does not use Hero, I think it's going to be crazy. Let's see what they do. Oh, man, this is stressing me out, actually. If Coach Park's got a plan, let's hope it works out for his sake, I suppose.
Yeah, he needs this ace match. We were saying before that we felt like Jin Air was very... well, not very, but they were favored coming into this first day. And if CJ is able to take it, it makes them in a great position for tomorrow.
Especially because CJ's lineup really suits the all-kill format, I feel, more than Jin Air's does. Jin Air's format is great for this lineup format, like the first day and the third day. So if CJ doesn't win either of those important lineup days, the entry formats, then they're going to have a hard time in the overall series. All right, let's see. The hype is building for those TV fans as well as you Twitch fans out there that can't see.
We haven't looked behind us.
I'm not cheating.
We haven't. None of the three of us have looked behind, so we don't know. We're going to find out with you guys. And they're delaying this one a lot.
Yeah, man, it must be something crazy. Like, it's like, I don't even know, like Sora is coming out or something versus SOS. What is the choice going to be? I feel like definitely if Coach Park does something different, people are going to go crazy. Let's see.
Who's it going to be?
The reveal is now. It is going to be Hero versus Rogue, a PvZ.
Rogue's got something planned. This is going to be an interesting game. It's on Echo as well.
Yeah. He played on this map before, but it was against a Terran, one that he was very favored against. And I don't know. This is a very interesting choice from Jin Air. I definitely agree with Moonglade. He's got to have something planned.
This is definitely not going to be your standard PvZ. That much is for sure.
Oh, yeah. Definitely would not expect that. But, guys, we are going to go into a short 5-minute break. Stay tuned.